I'm live. Hey everybody, my name is Wendy Ford from Cash Life Mastery. I'm a business and marketing mentor. So today, guys, you are joining us for Breaking Barriers in Business, and we are talking about how to use Facebook groups to connect with more people. And joining me, as always, is my co-host, Chris Kirkpatrick. And before we get started with our subject today, guys, I'll let Chris introduce himself and tell you guys a little bit more about him.
Hey guys, Chris Kirkpatrick with Succeed Anyway, and it's been awesome doing this series. We're, I don't know, not quite a weekend, about a weekend to doing this, and my passion is helping people find ways to kind of fill their financial needs in their life. The reality is most people's problems in life stem from financial struggle on some level, and their mindset, their beliefs that they have around money, their self-limiting beliefs that they have around money and what they deserve in life. And the cool part is we're at that time of year right now where everybody has the ability to kind of reevaluate, and where most people are kind of reevaluating on some level what's going on right now. Where are you in your life? Where do you want to be? Is what you're doing congruent with where you want to go and all that stuff? So that's kind of what I do. It's what I specialize in, whether it's financial coaching, whether it's network marketing coaching, which I do a lot of as well. As a top 1% network marketer, it's really fun. My passion. It's funny because network marketing was never something that I thought I would be interested in, and then a couple of years I kind of fell into it by default because, well, it's a long story, but it happened. It was something, it was something I never thought I'd get involved with, and here I am. And now I have so much faith and passion about the network marketing industry, and it's kind of one of those things that I think if everybody knew about it, what I know about it, they'd be as excited as I am. And so I love sharing that with people. I love coaching people to push themselves and improve their lives. And I love meeting people like Wendy, who we met through social media. A lot of the stuff that we're talking about, that we're training people on strategies to use to connect and build relationships and develop friendships with people, and business partnerships with people. Those are all techniques that we use to meet each other. So,
we met through live streaming through a friend that I met online, and we connected that way, and we've stayed connected. And guys, one thing that I want people to realize more and more is that these online relationships, they're not just online. They're phone calls, they're Zoom meetings, they're partnerships. They're people that, if you're having a little struggle with, I have my online tech guy is what I call him. He's my techie friend. If I ever have a problem with website issues, I know I can reach out to him. So there are people that will actually help propel you in business. I want people to look at these friendships as true friendships that deepen over the years. You get closer and closer to these people, and it doesn't necessarily mean you've ever met them in person.
It's true. I mean, look at the world we live in today. I mean, most businesses are done online, and I think probably if you're watching this, you have some kind of affinity or draw towards building a business online or developing some sort of income stream where maybe it gives you the freedom to work from wherever it happens to be that you are, and so the great part is, like, if that's the case, that means the world is your oyster. You can talk to anybody from anywhere and develop real partnerships that are mutually beneficial with each other. And so it's fantastic.
Yeah, I know, basically, guys, I'm full-time from home. I'm not a world traveler like Chris is. He likes to jump in the car and on a plane and go everywhere.
Yes, I do.
I travel several times a year, and when I do, it's usually for a couple of weeks. And I mean, can you even imagine leaving a retail store for a couple of weeks? Oh my God, the problems that you would have while you're gone, relying on your employees and things like that. But being able to form an online business and, the partnerships and the team members and stuff like that, you form that on a, what do you call it, like a flexible schedule. You know when your team can meet, when they can't. You get those relationships nailed down of who's doing what, that kind of thing. So when you pick up and leave, it's just a matter of taking your laptop so you can check in. And, you know, then you can daily build your business because you are online. And it's like you said, the world is your oyster.
And it's awesome because the only thing limiting you from living the life that you want to that you love, and, you know, really designing the life, your life in the way that you want to live it, is right here. That's the only thing limiting you. You know, everything exists out there to do it. The question is, do you want to go out and do it? And so that's what we're talking about, is kind of teaching strategies to teach you, okay, social media is a really complex thing. It can be amazing, or it can be a complete waste of time. And, you know, I think both Wendy and I have experienced both sides of that spectrum. And
yeah, definitely.
so, you know, quite frankly, learn from us, learn from our mistakes, right? And don't make all the same mistakes that we have any more than you already have to this point. And try to, you know, take a lot of the things that we're doing that are working for us. You know, maybe not everything you will resonate or align with you, but take as much as you can that we're doing that we know is working, implement it in your life, and go from there, you know, and just, that's it.
Yeah, you know, I would say basically starting online. One of my biggest things, and probably my biggest, I don't know if I would call it a mistake, but something I kind of had to learn. It was like the learning curve. You know, when I was making friends, I thought that, you know, just anybody would be my niche, you know, which that's just not true. Of course, I didn't really know what my niche was because I was growing into it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, I was with a company that did something quite different than what I'm doing now. And so you know, it was basically a gifting coupon company. And so you basically gave out your information. And I thought, well, everybody needs this because everybody needs a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, but you know what? Not everybody was interested in a discount. Some people are too busy. They don't care. They just want to buy it and go, you know. So I was making mistakes, you know, just kind of connecting with just anybody
Mm-hmm.
instead of actually talking to them. And that's one thing that I really want to get through to people. Please, God, please stop putting your links in people's private messages if you haven't gotten permission. You need to have a conversation with these people. You need to find out about them, what their lifestyle is like, what their business needs are like, and see if they align with whatever product or service that you're offering. And one of the ways that I have learned over time to really get really good niche, narrowed down niche targeted customers is to do that through Facebook groups. So guys, I'm going to actually share my screen really quick, and Chris, you'll have to let me know that I'm sharing my
I will let you know. Yeah, as soon as it pops up.
Okay, so you should be seeing my Facebook page now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go up here, and I want to find groups. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm in internet marketing, and actually I'm in, let's just say health and wellness. Health and, oh, can't spell. Helps when you can spell. So I'm just going to type in health and wellness groups, and I'm going to see what pops up.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways that I like to get into groups and actually find people who might be a good person to send a friends request to is actually to go to public groups. The public groups don't, you know, you don't necessarily have to join to see their members. If you're in a closed group, then that's something that's going to require you to join before most of the time you can actually see who's in the group. So if you're looking for a public group, I would go public group and then look for the one who has the most members, because not every member in there is going to align with who you want to talk to. So let's try this one out. Okay, so this is health and wellness, and you can go here and you can see, just click here and it's going to show you who the members are. And so you can go and you can just like take a look at what they're doing. You know, are they active? You know, like here they've got 4 new posts. That's somebody that's pretty active. You know, that might be somebody I'm already friends with that person, but if I wasn't, that might be somebody that I would want to connect with and talk to. And one way that I would connect with them is say, hey, I just joined whatever the name of the group is, and I see you're in that group too. Are you getting, you know, what are you getting out of it? You know, what are you learning in this group? You know, just ask them a question about the group. So that's a really good way to connect with people that are already in the group. And then you can also, through the group itself, you can go and see who's actually posting in the group. So people who are posting are typically a little bit more active, and they're going to be the people that you might want to connect with. Like this person right here, he's posted something, you know, of value. He's talking about why baby carrots are killing you. Okay, so this one might be interesting, Chris.
Oh.
he's
I'm like, I kind of want to read that article.
I know, now I'm like wanting to read it. So, you know, he might be somebody that I would want to add as a friend because he's in alignment with me. He's self-employed, he's active, and he's posting within this group. And so I might reach out to him, send him a friend's request, send the message saying, hey, I just joined such and such group. I saw your article about baby carrots. That was really awesome. You know, so that's a really good way to find groups and to also connect with people that are in groups. So basically, guys, you just use your search bar. If you think about your Facebook search bar in the way that you think about your Google search bar, if people would kind of make that mind shift, because this Facebook search bar is really, really, you know, really on target with what you're trying to look for. And another thing we brought up yesterday is you can also use hashtag health. And you can see that, let's see, let's see, 1,000 people are searching healthy food. Okay. So you might can scroll down and find people that way. But for groups, you're definitely going to want to put the word group. Let's see, if I like coffee, I could put coffee groups. Okay, so all of these are closed groups. Let's just give an example of a closed group so people can see the difference. So in this group, they actually do let me see some of the members, but it doesn't give me that bar where it says members. Well, let's see, maybe we can go here. Sometimes you absolutely can't see the members unless you join the group. See, that's just giving me other members again when I click that. So you would actually have to join to be able to see everybody that's in the group. And on some groups, if it's a closed group or if it says private, the private group typically is only going to show you the admins. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for groups. But absolutely use the search bar to help you find what you're looking for. So let's see, we can do internet marketing groups. All right, so here's a public one. And you can see again, I'm going to be able to click and see the members, the events. Always read here, guys, what the group's about. So you know what you're getting into before you actually join it. Because if you post wrong or interact wrong, you can get kicked out of the group. So that's another thing. And then, Chris, I'm going to let you kind of take it over and talk about how, once you're in these groups, you know, what's some of the things that we can actually say to people to get them to interact with us and be, you know, more active and grow into our businesses, because the whole point of a group is to get those people to connect and pull them over into what you're doing. So I'm going to let Chris give you guys some strategies to get that to happen.
Well, and so thanks, Wendy. The you already hit on a couple things. I mean, the point to joining a group and engaging with a group is really, what are we doing? We're looking for people who have some commonalities with us, you know, have some similarities in what our interests are, maybe business interests, health interests, activity interests, whatever it is that you're looking to build, if it's a service or a product or what have you. Find groups that are really targeted, and when you find a targeted group that's more specific for what you do, and sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's a little more challenging depending on how specific or broad your opportunity or service or whatever is, but you find the right groups and you get in there, and you find the right people to engage with. You know, like she said it best, Wendy's just said it, go down through. The first thing you do when you go into a group is look for the people who are making the posts, and find people who are making posts that you're like, wow, I respect that, I'm interested in that. I'm sorry, my kids are upstairs, it's lunchtime apparently. So they're looking to, it's people who are making these posts that you're interested in, or that to me is saying, okay, that's somebody that I'd be interested in having a conversation with. And so stop thinking about, that's a person that I want in my business. Start thinking, that's a person that I want to have a conversation with, right? Because
I think that's where so many people fail to realize this is about connection. It's about making a true friend. If you would get on social media and try to make a friend just like you would make a friend in real life,
yep,
build those relationships. People buy, let me rephrase this. People buy, let me say it one more time. People buy from people they know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not built that relationship with somebody, they don't know you, they don't like you, and they don't trust you. So you're not making a sale.
Right.
So stop thinking of the short term and think of the long term and build those relationships.
Well, that's the difference. I was listening to some stuff with Eric Worre the other day, and what you just said there, that's the difference between being a poser and being a professional. Like the people who just get on and try to, there's nothing worse. If you want to get on Facebook, and I'm not going to go down this road too far, but I got to say it for a second. If you get on Facebook and all you do is put up links on your wall, to your opportunity, and every post that you make is about your product or your opportunity, or, and every message you send people is just like, hey, I saw you made this post. I think I've got this business, or I found this product and it's awesome and I think you'd be great at it. Here's my link, check it out. Let me know what you think. Like, if that's what you do, I promise you're going to do that forever and you're going to have zero success. And the people who do respond are not the people you want in your business. So
yeah, I mean, it's like, quality over quantity. Do you want to be talking to these people that really truly believe that you can buy into an opportunity and not have to work?
Totally. No, I'm with you. So here's the deal. I'm not a big fan. Like, I mean, I know there are a lot of people out there who give people scripts on what to say, and here's how you make your first connection, and here's how you do this or that or whatever. I'm not that guy. I don't believe in doing that for people. I don't believe in doing that with people. Yes, I'm working. No, I'm not. I'll be with you soon. Sorry. So, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy who's going to tell people how to say it, whatever, because I believe you need to be authentic. I believe you need to be real, because you want people don't join companies, people join people, right? And that's just the reality. No matter what your training that you're being told from your company is, people are joining you, not your company. Now, your company does a lot of great things, hopefully, that's going to allow you to stand out and leverage those to make you even more attractive, right? And hopefully, but here's the deal. If you just focus on developing a relationship, when I'm getting some feedback, are you hearing that?
Yeah, a little bit. Let me mute my mic.
Okay. All right. So if you focus on just developing those relationships, and you're going to see just a complete catastrophic, or not catastrophic, what's the opposite of catastrophic? An amazing leap forward in the right direction. Just And here's my suggestion. I'm not going to tell you what to say, how to say it, but what I will say is get on, ask questions. Ask questions. Just ask good questions about them. Try to learn about them. Don't send them information about your thing. Talk to them about, hey, I saw the article you posted, or I stumbled across your profile or your timeline, and I was looking at a lot of your posts and your interactions with people, and you seem really cool. It seems like we have a lot in common. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you do. Bang, give them the opportunity. Like, don't tell them anything about you. Give them the opportunity to talk first. Learn, care, ask questions, because I promise you, by the time they're done answering all your questions, what's the natural response? They're going to ask you what you do. If you do this right, be patient. Thank you, honey. You're gonna have the ability to, have the conversation or say all the things that you wanted to spam to them at the beginning, right? If that's your natural tendency to want to do that, right? You know what I mean, Wendy? Does that make sense?
Exactly right. I think a lot of people think that, and I know that some people teach this, it's about the numbers and being fast, numbers and being fast, numbers and being fast, because you've got to pull all of these people into your funnel, because you have to get so many prospects to get so many sales.
Yep.
Well, that's all true. That's all true. Absolutely true. But it's the quality of the people going into the funnel for me. I do things a little bit differently. I want to know that this person is aligned with what I'm doing for business, because if they're not, and I get them into my company, they're not going to work, or they're not going to like it, and they're going to quit. So, if you actually take a little bit more time, get to know these people, like one of the first things that I do is I let people know about my fan page, because, we're doing live streaming. I'm doing a lot of education over there. And then, of course, I have my own private group that I do. So I might, depending on the person and what they're doing, I might either tell them about the fan page, or I might tell them about the group. That's a really good way to connect with people. Ask them, do you have a fan page I can go and like? Everybody likes it when you want to do something for them.
Yep.
Or if you see somebody in a group asking a question, just like the other day, I had somebody, I was in a group, somebody asked a question about WordPress. I could help her. So I reached out to that person. I had a conversation with her. And because I found out through talking to her about her website that she was doing health and wellness too, I talked to her about my business. We had that conversation. I said, I think what I'm doing would really align with what you're doing. And so we had the conversation, and it was natural. It wasn't spammy. It wasn't anything. And I actually helped her with her WordPress. I probably took a good hour and a half with this person, but turns out she's really going to be somebody that would be a good person to be in my business. So I don't see that as wasted time.
Nope, I agree. Well, so and here's the other thing too, is as we're building our networks up, I know there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of information telling you, you need to get to 5,000 friends and this and that, and you do all these things to build your network and whatever. But the bottom line is you can have a million friends. Well, Facebook won't let you, but if you did have a million friends and there were a million people that really didn't care about what you were, who you were, what you were doing, all that stuff, then what's the point? So make sure that whatever you're doing, you're connecting with the right people, you're finding them in the right place, and using groups to do that is a really, really effective tool. So these next two things I want to say, they're really cool tips. I think they're probably the most vital tips, because I always think they're the most vital tips in regards to, I think, building relationships effectively and building trust with people online. Now, here's why I say this, because if you're somebody who does a lot of live streaming and you're watching this and whatever, live streaming is really the best way to go, right? If you have the ability to live stream, if you're comfortable on being in front of camera like this, that is going to allow you to develop relationships with people. It's going to allow you to develop trust with people, because we live in this age of technology and social media and scams, and identity theft and all these things that are going on out there, that people are skeptical, rightfully so. People are skeptical. You know,
They're not just skeptical, they're scared.
Scared, exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Like, I can tell you specifically, and I'm just being totally blunt, totally straight, like whatever, and this may come out, like, I am not going to answer a response from somebody if somebody writes me a message. I get 5 to 10 messages a day that I don't respond to on Facebook, that I don't respond to, that I just click delete. I don't mark them as spam because I'm not sure, but I just don't respond to them. Why? Because I look at the person, I look at their profile, I look and I go, I don't really, like, this is not, I got to think about what's my time worth. You know what I mean? And what are the odds of this being a legitimate person? And I tell you what, people that you want to connect with, that you want to be worthy of their time, right? And you want to be able to take some of their time. The people that you really want to work with are the people who guard their time, And so you need to show them that you're worth their time. And how do you do that? Well, the first step is prove to them you're real, right? I mean, like,
be open and transparent with like your postings on your own personal page. And then, when you do a Facebook Live, that opens up your world to everybody that's connected with you, because now they can see, maybe you're outside, they can see a little bit about where you live. I always typically broadcast from my office, but I make sure that I take pictures, and they see my kids, they see my crazy husband. I do like little short video clips even when we're not live, to just give a little bit about who you are and what your family's like and what you do, because people want to relate to you in that manner, because if they join your business, they want to know that they can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you kind of align with what their family is like, and they think, well, this old lady over here on Facebook, she's doing Facebook Lives, and this is how her family is, and she's got 2 cute puppies and a crazy husband and a daughter, and she's doing it. Why can't I?
Sure.
If she can be successful, then I can too.
Yep.
And that's the feeling that you want to give people. You want them to know that you're real. That you, like Chris, he's been in Vermont for 2 weeks now, visiting family. People want to know that you really truly can run a business and not have to be home all the time. There is freedom in this, that you can get up and go. And to be honest with you, I could get up and go, except for my husband's still in the military, so that limits us a lot. But people want to know that freedom can be possible for them.
Totally.
And so, like, in Chris's case, he's definitely proven that he could get up, leave, and go to Vermont for 3 weeks to visit family and friends and still run his business, and nothing changed for him.
It's just a little colder.
Yeah. You said go my way.
I have the force field that I brought with me for the snow. I sent it all to North Carolina. But so here's I mean, that's awesome stuff. And so here's the deal, for me at least. I had this thing happen to me, and it actually changed my whole way of engaging with people on Facebook Messenger. And it was probably 9 months ago or so. And what happened is I got a friend request from a guy, and it was, I'm not going to use names, but I got a friend request from a gentleman, and he was a well-known person. He must have saw me streaming online and doing some stuff, and so he sent me a friend request. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So-and-so wants to be friends on Facebook. I'll totally accept, like there was no issue for me with the social, like, proof or, no, like, trust stuff. Like, I was like, okay, I know him. I'm flattered really that he wanted to be friends with me, right? Like, so, like, nice stuff. And then what happened was, like, I don't know, 2 days later or a day later, whatever it was, I get a video or a voice text, a voice message on Facebook. And it was him basically with a 20-second introduction of, hey, great to connect with you. I saw you on live streaming media, like, or on Periscope it was, and I just wanted to connect with you. Seems that we have a lot in common. Would love to connect sometime. Boom, that was it. And I was just like, wow, okay, that's ingenious. First of all, at that point in time, I didn't even know that worked. So what I do want to tell you guys all, if you don't have it, if you have a smartphone, get the Messenger app. If you don't have the Messenger app, you need to get the Messenger app, because when you have the Messenger app, you can use, I don't know if you can do this from your computer. I don't think you can, unless, Wendy, you tell me otherwise.
No, you actually cannot record a voice message, but you can listen to one.
Okay, cool. So, but you can go on here and you can record, that little record button, and you just click on it, you hold it down while you're talking, and as soon as you release, the message is sent. It's pretty awesome. And so what I started doing from that point forward with amazing results is anytime I connected with somebody, I realized that if I'm going out finding people, right, and luckily because a lot of the streaming stuff I do, a lot of people are finding me, but when I'm actually actively going out to groups trying to find people, I think about it this way. Like I said, I'm skeptical. The people I want to be in my business are going to be guarded. They're going to be scared about their identity being taken. They're going to be scared about all these things that we're all just, right. We all have these walls up. So how can I help break those down? How can I help disarm them and build a level of trust, at least initially, to allow them to say, okay, I'll have at least a conversation with this guy. And using the audio messages, guys, has increased, I'm going to say 80 to 90% of the response rates. I'm getting an 80 to 90% response rate increase from people just sending audio messages, right? I mean, like, that's craziness.
And that is really important too, to increase the response rates, because a lot of times you can send a typed message, and I think people feel a little less impelled, to respond to those. They think, well, okay, it's sitting there, I can respond to it like tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think if you get a voice message that, people are like, oh, what's this? And then so they listen to it, and then they're like, oh, I can just voice them back,
Well, and here's the other deal. You want to stand out, don't you? I mean, we all want to stand out. You want to be special. Very few people have the guts to actually do it, right? Very few people have the guts to do live streaming media. Maybe more people would have the guts to do like a audio message, but it's a lot easier to type to type, a scripted out thing to people that, it's really hard to convey your excitement, your passion, your genuineness over a typed out message. You want to really make an impact and make a connection with people, be excited, give them an audio message and send them that message. That's seriously my number one tip. Send them that message. Be genuinely excited to have connected with them, to learn more about what they're doing, to ask them a question about the article that you saw. Let them see or hear the tone of your voice that you really do care, because like, that goes 1,000 times farther than it will in a written message, and then what's the next step? The next step is video, so like, the cool part is you use audio. If you can use audio to kind of start the relationship, and then transition to video. I've got this one guy that I was actually, so I wrote this book and I'm working on publishing it and all this stuff, and I was talking to this guy, and every time I started engaging with him, he would send me a video. It was never even audio. It was like next level stuff here. He was sending me a video. Every time I would send him an audio, he'd send me a video. I'm like, oh, this SOB's one up in me. What's going on here? Like, and so like, that's just, I started seeing it. But you know what? Like, these are the things that people who are experts, that are professionals, that are really trying to stand out in a crowd, are doing to excel. And if you want to be there, you got to be willing to do that stuff. You got to be willing. If you want what other people don't have, you got to be willing to do what other people aren't willing to do. And using audio messages, using video messages, it's as easy as doing a selfie video. Like, hey, I just saw your thing. I just saw your page and you posted an article. I tell you what, it's awesome connecting with you. I can't wait to like chat with you and hear more about why you posted it, what's going on in your life, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, do it, send it in a video. I mean, you could do all that. You can send videos right through your Facebook app, right? Same thing. So easy.
I will caution people, though. do not face call people if you've never spoken to them, because they're
No,
going to hang up on you. You know, please start with a little bit of progression and getting to know
totally.
you by using the voice app first,
Yep.
and if they're okay, and then, you can ask, hey, would you like to FaceTime? But, I've had so many instances where, and it never fails. It's usually men, that will try to FaceTime other, women they're looking for dating, that's
Just to be clear, Wendy, I'm not talking about a call. I'm talking about me recording a video and sending it one way.
right. But I'm talking about people that just like try to just straight up FaceTime.
Oh gosh, no, don't do that.
Please do not do that. That is something you want to stay away from until you've built some type of relationship. And I would also, before you FaceTime video somebody, I would actually send them a voicemail and say, hey, can you FaceTime with me right now? Because some people just don't want to be on FaceTime.
Yeah, I would say the only time you FaceTime or do any kind of video chat, right, is when it's scheduled. Like make sure that it's on the books and that there's a reason to be talking over video. It's one thing, like people with this day and age with YouTube and all, like people are used to watching videos. There's millions of videos uploaded on Facebook and stuff like that. So it's nothing for them to see a video of you talking to them and introducing yourself. That requires no vulnerability on their end. It requires all the vulnerability on your end, right? And that's you telling something to them about you, and they get to see more into your life, which is a good thing. But if you try to ask for that in return from them before they offer it, that can blow up in your face really quickly.
Exactly, because you're intrusive at that point, and that puts people off. So you definitely need to take it in a progression. Like I said, use the the voice chat, the voice recording, and then do like the videos, like Chris is saying, because like he said, that's you being vulnerable, not them. But just stay away from the FaceTime video app until you get that permission, because like I said, people do that to me. I don't know them. The first thing I do is I go unfriend them, because that to me is intrusive. I just don't like it.
So I know we're pushing the time barrier here, but here's what I do want to say. Like, this is kind of how I want to wrap my stuff up, and then I'll let you kind of finish with your stuff a little bit. Like I said, I don't have any scripts. There's no magic words. There's nothing, there's no magic potion to this. It's just being consistent. It's being dedicated and persistent, in doing it, and being authentic, right? So, but the rules of thumb, even though I won't give you a script, I'll give you kind of a couple rules of thumb to follow. When you go to groups, when you go to different pages or whatever, even if you're hashtag searching, whatever, whenever you find somebody through a group or hashtag, if it's kind of targeted and you go to connect with them, make sure that if you, my tip would be A, start with an audio, right? B, be authentic, right? Don't try to sound like be somebody you're not. If you're kind of more of a like low energy person, that's okay. Just be you. Maybe raise it up a little bit, but don't be like, I'm kind of a high energy dude, like it is what it is. So like, so it's okay for me, but like not, but sometimes guess what? If I'm not always in a high energy mood. So like, if I'm not, like what you see is what you get with me. Sometimes you'll notice if you watch my live stream, sometimes I'm just like, hey guys, what's going on? Blah, blah. Like sometimes I'm on top of the world and I feel like I could, whatever, feel like I'm about to explode. But so be authentic, right? So be authentic. C, don't talk too much about you. You want to give an introduction to yourself, but pick 2 to 3 little quick points to talk about yourself. You don't want your introduction audio message to be 1.5 minutes long. You want it to be 30 seconds long, at the most. It's just like real quick, and be engaging with them. Ask questions about them, tell them why you're excited to be to have connected with them, or why you're excited to talk to them, or whatever. And when you get that done, you're going to have some back and forth. A lot of times people will write back to me, right? They don't audio back to me because they're not quite courageous enough yet. And so they write, but here's the deal. A lot of times people will audio me back and they'll be like, whoa, I didn't even know this feature existed. This is awesome. Like blah, blah, blah. Thanks so much. Like, and now what happened? They just are always going to remember you because they're going to be like, that guy or that gal showed me, like, you know, had the guts, and now I use it all the time because that's exactly what happened to me. You know what I mean? I didn't even know it existed. And so, you know, there's that. And then once you go back and forth, even if they write back to you, always respond with an audio. Always respond with an audio. Always respond with an audio. And then when you get the right time, pop a video in of yourself, right? Maybe after 5, 6, 7 audios, or maybe even sooner, depending on like how it's all going. You got to use your discretion on that, right? As Wendy kind of said earlier, but use your discretion, and but pop that video in. And you know, a lot of times, like, I got to tell you, I got a couple generic videos of myself that I've recorded that are talking about me, you know, because with what I do with network marketing, a lot of people are always asking me, what do I do, right? What's this product that you have? What are the benefits of it? Blah, 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 blah. Like, what, I mean, you know, like different ways of people asking kind of the same question. And I have a generic video because, hey, listen, network marketing is all about duplication, right? And so that's a beautiful thing about technology. If you duplicate yourself, take that video and just respond it to them, you know, and you'll see your job. And the cool part about that video is it forces you to be disciplined, especially, and this is more targeted to network marketing people, but if you could do that and you're a network marketer, when you have this video that's generic, it's your generic kind of sales pitch video, if you will, right, for lack of a better phrase, that kind of talks about what you do, how you do it, whatever. It allows you to do it in your perfect way, because you could sit here with your camera and your phone and record it 1,000 times until you get it to the point where you're like, that's good. You know, I look good that time, man. I'm awesome at this. If I could do it every time like that, I'd be a rock star, you know? Like, so you do it, you do that, right? And you get it perfect. And then when they write to you and they're like, what do? You get to send it to them. That's duplicated perfection, you know? And if it's, I'll tell you what, the cool part behind that too is it forces you to say, my only job is to ask questions, right? If I ask the right questions, eventually they're going to ask me about what I do. Fair enough?
Exactly, because you know, when people are talking to people, they want to know who they're talking to. So
Yeah.
it's just a natural, innate thing that humans want to know about the other person that they're connecting with.
Bingo. And so the cool part when you have a video that's your sales pitch, you set this rule for yourself that I'm not allowed to make the sales pitch. My perfect video is the only thing that can make my sales pitch. So my job is to get them to basically ask for this video. So I mean, it's
very good.
It's awesome. So it works well. So I hope that helps. I mean, like, and I know, like, if you've never done the audio or the video or stuff like that, if you got a smartphone, it's so easy to do. You don't need any special mics. You don't need anything like that to get going. Just do it. Try it out. And the bottom line is, if it's not converting the right way, your video's not getting enough people to whatever, it's probably the video. Just change the video. Do a couple different videos. Split test them. I mean, there's all many sorts of things you could do. Don't make it complex at the beginning. Start doing the audios and go from there.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we are wrapping it up for this version of Breaking Barriers in Business, and we hope that you guys have gotten some awesome tips from Chris and I today. And below this video on the YouTube channel, and also in our Facebook Live, we are going to put some links that you can hook up with Chris, hook up with me, and we are doing a 30-day challenge. So we're going to be here every day until the end of January. Unless lightning strikes. So we will be here every day. So make sure that you are coming over to the Cash Life Mastery page on Facebook and watching us live. Or if you have any questions, make sure that you post those in the comments of the live, and we'll get back to you, because we do check back and see if there's been any comments and things like that. And if you got value today, guys, please share this out, because Chris and I are doing this to help people. You know, we want to make sure that your groups, your teams, you know, they get the information that they need to succeed. I mean, that's the whole reason that we're doing this, guys, is to help more people succeed in 2017. And it was a challenge that Chris and I decided to do with each other to, you know, kind of get each other to next level it up. You know, 30 days of doing live streaming and making that commitment, you know, it's not easy. So we challenge you to do the same thing, you know, start doing some live streaming. But guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow because as always, we're going to have some awesome tips. And thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow.